Your mother made you go to bed early?
Well, then when she could catch me, I'd slip around. I had to hear Joe Oliver blow one time before I went to bed, kind of late. But I made up all right. I didn't overdo it. And sometimes the kids, they look so old, around 14 or 15, on account of that sun and stuff like that. So all they do is put on long pants and they can stay up and honky tonks like everybody else. Nobody pay no attention to it because
They thought they were older.
they look older, yeah.
A young black child, around the age of 12, is outside of New Orleans with a gun, shooting off blank rounds into the air. It's New Year's, a time of celebration. But for the child, it would be a pivotal moment of his life. He would be arrested for this innocent New Year's tradition and be sentenced to serve at the Colored Waif's home, where he would join the band and begin playing the cornet. Hello folks, this is Richard Durazo, and today we are going to talk about the childhood of Louis Armstrong, one of the greatest trumpet players and jazz ambassadors to ever live. Let's get started. Louis Armstrong was born on either August 4th, 1901 or July 4th, 1900. Louis Armstrong himself liked to claim he was born on July 4th, but a lot of the records say August 4th of 1901. I'm just going to kind of skim over that for now, but I believe Louis. I think he was born July 4th, 1900. He was born and raised in New Orleans, and in the 1920s he would be known as the most innovative horn player in jazz. He would be one of the first showmen to be the focus of the band, to be the face of the group, to be Louis Armstrong and his All-Stars, instead of just the All-Stars. By the 1950s, he was a household name, and we still hear his songs today, more than 100 years later. So how did he grow up? Well, Louis Armstrong was raised in poverty by his grandma until the age of 5, and then he moved into being raised by his mother, Mary Estelle Mayan Albert. So Louis would keep his father's name, William Armstrong. Louis Armstrong's mother was only 16 when she gave birth to him. Louis grew up in poverty. The neighborhood he was raised in is known as the Battlefield, and it's located on the south side of Ramparts. He would be educated in a racially segregated school system that was present in the 1900s around New Orleans. One of Louis' earliest musical experiences was singing the song Russian Lullaby with the Karnofsky family, who his mother had worked for. Louis would comment on the mistreatment of the Karnofsky family by other white folks because the Karnofskys were a Jewish family. The Star of David that Louis wears continually is in honor of this family he met when he was a young boy. Louis Armstrong would drop out of school at the age of 11. At this time, he started singing on street corners for money and playing music as much as he could. It's also around this time when Louis would start to learn the cornet, which is a smaller, horn-like instrument. On New Year's Eve, at only 12 years old, the situation I mentioned at the beginning of this video occurred. That's when Louis would join the Colored Waif's house. It was the home where Louis first joined a band and first began playing in a group as a cornet player. Shortly after this, while still a teenager, Louis Armstrong would also begin working as a pimp, and he ended up being stabbed in the arm at the age of 15. Right around the shoulder, ending the relationship when he was a pimp for a short period. Louis Armstrong looked up to Joe King Oliver, who was a local cornet player around that time, and eventually became close to him. King Oliver would actually help teach Louis Armstrong a lot of his earliest skills and chops. And eventually, when King Oliver left, Louis Armstrong would replace him in his band and take on the role as lead cornet player. Louis Armstrong would also spend some of his earliest years performing on the New Orleans riverboat. So he played in the Grand Fete Maribel in the late 1910s when Louis was still a teenager. These riverboats would go up and down the Mississippi River, with Louis Armstrong playing his cornet with the band on the boat. It was on these riverboats where Louis Armstrong began to learn how to read music as well. And he continued doing this until 1922, when he would receive a telegram from King Oliver to move up to Chicago. And that's where we're going to end this video for today, folks. If you enjoyed this, leave a comment. If you'd like me to talk more about Louis Armstrong, please let me know. I absolutely would love to. He's one of my favorite figures. Otherwise, my name is Richard Durazo. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you have an outstanding day. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all of those good things. So long.